Yo guys, what is up? Got some domination on satellite today. I'll be using the DMR14 with the Smash 12 secondary, typical perk layout of Flatjack Attack Mask, Assassin, Scavenger, Ghost Ninja. I won't use the Scavenger because I'm using the Smash 12 and the DMR14 because I feel like even with the extra mana capacity, it still isn't enough, especially for what I'm doing today. So, and for the scope attachments, I switched from this hollow slot to a 4x to a 3x down to a 2x, and I feel like 2x is just the right spot for me on this map for what I'm doing today, which isn't going to be a whole lot of much. This is pretty much the whole gameplay. Oh boy, it's so exciting. But that's satellite in a nutshell to me. Like, this map is possibly like the worst map in the game right now. It's so bad that I think Miami is better, and I actually don't mind playing Miami anymore. I hated Miami when I first started playing the game, and I don't, I actually like it now. It's just nice. It's really nice. But anyway, yeah, like if you start C-spawn on satellite, you are either in luck because A spawn is a lot easier to win, but if you can't win A spawn, you're not winning C spawn, at least in my opinion. And there was a game I won a save a while ago, but I didn't think the score warranted it or the gameplay, where me and the top guy had like 31 objectives and we still lost, or some shit like that. We had 31 objectives after the first half, and it was just stupid, and we still lost the game. And you see here, I'm trying to see which one I really want to use. I mean, there's a lot of downtime in this gameplay just from switching between attachments, because I'm trying to find the best setup to see these people from faraway sights, and yeah, that's why I'm using the 2x scope, because setting on B, which I think if you make a defensive line from B, cover your flanks, you pretty much win satellite pretty handedly on either side, but on A side it's definitely a lot easier to do than it is on C side. C side is so bad. You have like no coverage when hitting B. Like, yeah, you don't really have much cover from going to A, coming from A, but the one thing about controlling from A side is it feels like you have a better means to get to B. Like, there's a lot of cover in A spawn or in C spawn that just fucks you over and can get you killed. Whereas on, A side, you could just post up behind these broken airplane parts a lot easier and just pick people off out of their spawn. Whereas on C side, I feel like, it's not as easy to do that. I feel like, there's an easier way to see people when you come on that tunnel over there that's posted up. But usually you can actually see their nameplates pop up if you use ADS. And C side doesn't have that glory. You come up from the right side, you get fucked. You come up from the middle, you get fucked. You come from the left, you get fucked. You go on the flank, you get fucked. It's just, this map is horrible. It reminds me of Afghan, but the only difference between this map and Afghan is Afghan doesn't feel this bad, and that says something. I hated Afghan. I thought it was a shitty map, but I didn't think it was the worst map, which again says something. When Afghan is a smaller map, and isn't even the largest map in the game, it's just like, bruh. But I mean, this is pretty much how I play satellite, and this is how you, in essence, get a pretty good score doing this. You can do this, or you could do the other method of just patrolling the spawn points, and that means playing a little bit more aggressive, which you're going to see that later on. And maybe it's something I should start trying to do in my gameplay on satellite when I do play it. It's just to do that, but Usually having a good team helps with that, and most of the time I'm on the side that's getting destroyed on C side, but Rex on A side. It's not a balance like it is here. Well, I want to talk about the DMR14. Oh, this gun is so fucking good. It's got a good, I think it's like a 2-shot with a headshot, a 3-shot without it. And the rate at which you can headshot people with this thing is insane. Like, I got all my headshot camos done before like level 30, I think. It's ridiculous. Now, I like to run the Spetsnaz front grip with it because it gets a lot of that hideous vertical recoil out of the way, which is also why it makes for a good headshot machine because of its vertical recoil. But using a 2x scope, it makes it kind of too bouncy for my liking, and I feel like the Spetsnaz front grip is probably the best grip for it if you're using a sight on it like this, which is probably why we can actually change around attachments in game as opposed to like having to wait after game. No, I would love to see an option to have different score streak layouts for different maps and not really different setups, but maybe that's just way too off in the future, you know, too hard to implement. That'd be cool to have different kill streak profiles for different maps, because running the setup I'm using is great on open maps, but when you're on something like Garrison or Moscow or maps like that where there's stuff that could get in the way, like on my last video, I used the cruise missile on Armada Strike and I hit, you know, like this beam structure on the boat and missed my target. It's stuff like that that kind of makes cruise missile kind of on those maps. Don't mind me, my sinuses are getting worse. This is recorded on the 10th, so it's only going to get worse from here. So if you hear any video later on that was recorded later on the month and I sound like shit, that's why. So, but yeah, I'd love to see different kill streak profiles for different maps. That would make a world of difference, at least for me, because we'll go into a map and I'll be like, damn, I wish I had a warp machine on this map instead of a chopper, or damn, I wish I had like something else other than cruise missile that would get the job done. It's little things like that that would make the game a little bit better in my opinion. Having that freedom to do that would be great. Having the variety to do that on different maps would be great too, because like I said, maps, kill streaks on certain maps just don't feel good. Like, they're not worth the value they are, and I still feel like the chopper isn't worth the value it is. 4,500 score just to get maybe 1 or 2 kills before it gets shot down, or if it stays up in the air on most maps, it's not going to do much. But this is the typical satellite experience here. The enemy team's just pushed up into their spawn. Typically on, if you are A side, you know, it's kind of hard to really get trapped like this in my opinion, but it can happen if the team isn't that great, or you're just playing against a stacked team, which occasionally happens. Thank you, skill-based matchmaking. You're so good. I just get blown up by head glitcher, I think. Yeah. This is probably, like I said, worst map of the game, and if you want to do well on this map, there isn't much you really have to do. You could sit and do what I did this game, where you could sit and run flanks all game and still do decently well. I mean, it's not the most exciting gameplay. I've wanted to upload a satellite gameplay for a while, just to get it out there and give my thoughts on the map, and like I said, I think this map's horrible. I just don't think it's balanced at all, and this really wasn't the gameplay for me to showcase the difference between A spawn, C spawn, but maybe I'll have one in the future. Final score is 36-12, 25 objectives. Not the greatest. You know, it's kind of just, you know, average score, but it's satellite. I fucking hate this map. I mean, you see this guy right here just running that spawn camping cover. Maybe that's what I should start doing on this map, if I'm ever able to. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.